Good evening, everyone. Hope we're all doing wonderful today. I think I just now realized I had background music on the entire time, but it never played because it's playing on a separate channel. Um, like a separate audio channel that I mute on streams. So it didn't fucking work. That's fine. We're getting started with Dragon Age Origins today. And honestly, I've been hyped to restart this. Because we couldn't get it working last time. I think this time it should work fine. Had to do a little bit of like a workaround with a lot of things. But it should be fine. And then YouTube decides not to work. I think some of the YouTube stream servers are just simply down. That's the only explanation I have. Which puts me in a very interesting position. Because I don't know if the stream looks and sounds good, because I can't get a proper bitrate. I can't connect to the main servers, and I can't connect my YouTube account. So I can't see chat on OBS, so I need to separately have the YouTube side up just to be able to see anything. Which I don't like, because I like having my OBS up, because then I can see the live feedback, and if something goes wrong on stream, I can see it right away. So this is going to be like a disaster stream, and I hope things are fixed before tomorrow. But that's all the rambling aside. We're gonna get started with a new run of Origins. Also, I'm gonna try and this time not talk too much over the narration and everything. The bitrate really concerns me. I really hope the audio and everything is actually fine.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable
I do really
and
love the lore.
relentless.
It's so dark.
The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness.
I have comments
And
about this
prevail.
part of the narration, by the way. But we'll go into that in a bit.
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies. Maker, help us all.
Did the stream cut out there for a second? Because it suddenly said there was no data at all. I am so worried right now because I don't know if everything is working the way it should be. I really hope YouTube is willing to cooperate, or this stream may be a disaster. I mean, it so far looks fine if I just look at the playback. I don't see any real like frame skips or anything. So we're just gonna run with it. But the thing I wanted to say about the intro is how the explicit part of how we're introduced to the Grey Wardens is that they are men and women of every race. Like, it can be anyone. It can be mages, it can be warriors, it can be rogues. And basically, aside from the player character, almost every warden we meet, exceptions exist in Awakening, but pretty much every warden we ever meet are male humans and typically warriors. Am I wrong? We're kind of going for an interesting, or at least I think it's kind of an interesting direction. Because I'm gonna go through the entire series, importing my saves as I go. And what I kind of plan on doing is I sort of have two main continuities that I'm writing with. I have like my one YouTuber AU that I write, which I consider separate, but like the main continuity that I write a lot for my long fic is a medieval punk one. And kind of the way I thought it would be interesting is if the exact same event, if like continuity is basically the same, like the same characters as in like my main continuity that I run with, which is why I have the journals project. So I'm thinking of just using the same characters. So the warden in my medieval punk setting and in my journals setting is Elaine. So we're just gonna create Elaine again. I think that's like the easiest way to do it without me getting completely caught up in like which character do I want to make. I forgot that everything is a Snyder in this. I'm horrible at Snyders for character creation. Red hair. I think I had like it was short, but it kind of looked like she barely kept it in order herself. Is it this one actually? I think it might have been. Trying to from memory recreate the same character I made like weeks ago. It's just gonna be like 5 years spent in character creation, of course. I have no idea how to get good looking eyes. Why is everything a Snyder? I'm horrible at Snyders. Why not make these selections so we can preview what they are? Get like an easier sense of it. I think I'm gonna go for this size. My dilemma right now is I can either like change everything and be here for 5 hours, or I can just kind of try and brush through as quick as I can. Let's settle. Let's see which one is seen. What's it? This one. Fun intensity in black, yes. I still find it odd you can like color the Vanisine, but we never see anybody with I don't think we ever see other Vanisine colors on anybody but the player character if I'm not mistaken. Which is always, like, why is it an option? Complexion, why is everything a slider? Just going through all the options just to end up on the default. Genuinely don't see a difference here. Lip actually kind of looks fine. Oh, well, what's the default? Looks so intense next to the Valesine. I can actually lower it. And then it just doesn't exist at all. See a slight hint of... I'm gonna be spending ages on this, aren't I? I kind of like this orangish look. Let's go for brown. The orange maybe is a little bit too close to her hair color. Why is it always so much stuff? I'm just gonna try and get through most of this as quick as possible. Definitely look up slightly, and I think a green background would work. Why? Oh no. What is this? Why is this a slider? I'm almost surprised this isn't a slider.
I have lost concentration.
How do you do?
Greetings. Greetings.
Charmed.
Greetings.
How are any of these what the tags are?
Greetings.
How do you do?
Greetings. Greetings.
Charmed.
Greetings.
How is that violent?
Charmed. How do you do?
This sounds almost a little bit too much like Liliana. I think I'm gonna have to go for this one. Just so it looks a bit... sounds a bit different. Wait. Oh, that's just downward sides. I thought it would make the tip stand out more. It's a little bit of a shame that the tip is just covered by the hair, actually. I'm just not gonna touch the cheeks because that's gonna mess everything up. Like I mess with these too much and then I actually play and I'm like, oh, it looks horrible. Just gonna jump in, I guess. I think I mostly want to go for dexterity, but actually dexterity is defense, isn't it? So you don't really need a lot of constitution if you have high dex. I'm just gonna do this. We'll see how it works. Eventually, coercion, because we need the early skill check with, what's her name? I forgot her name, but we need the ring. You need it for like an item in the origin. Rest aren't as important. I want to get herbalism eventually. I'll get... oh, I have no combat training yet. Let's do deft hands and stealth. And I'm just gonna play on normal for stream purposes.
You were born amidst the Dalish elves, noble wanderers who refused to join the society of humans that subjugated their homeland so long ago. The Dalish travel the land in tightly knit clans, struggling to maintain their half-forgotten lore in a human world that fears and despises them. You spend your time hunting with your clanmate Tamlin in the forests, and as is sometimes the case, your quarry is not always the local wildlife.
It's a Dalish!
And you three are somewhere you shouldn't be.
I love the
Let us
fact there
pass,
is
Elf.
just
You have
no
no right to
bowstring
stop
at
us.
all.
No? We will see about that, won't we? You're just in time. I found these humans lurking in the bushes. Bandits, no doubt.
We aren't bandits, I swear. Please don't hurt us.
You Shemlin are pathetic. It's hard to believe you ever drove us from our homeland.
We've never done nothing to you, Dalish. We didn't even know this forest was yours.
This forest isn't ours, fool. You've stumbled too close to our camp. You Shems are like vermin. We can't trust you not to make mischief. What do you say, Lethaline? What should we do with them?
Let's find out what they're doing here
Does
first.
it matter? Hunting or banditry, we'll need to move camp if we let them live.
Look, we didn't come here to be trouble. We just found a cave. Yes, a cave. With ruins like I've never seen. We thought there might be,
Treasure? So you're more akin to thieves than actual bandits.
There are caves but no ruins, you lie.
I have proof. Here, we found this just inside the entrance.
This stone has carvings. Is this Elvish? Written Elvish?
There's more in the ruins. We didn't get very far in, though.
Yeah, it sounds like a trap.
A trap? Oh, we didn't even know you elves were here. We were just trying to find the treasure.
And this is all you found? Why didn't you look for more?
There was a demon. It was huge with black eyes. Thank the Maker we were able to outrun it.
A demon. Where is this cave?
Just off the west, I think. There's a cave in the rock face and a huge hole just inside.
Well, do you trust them? Shall we let them go?
How evil do we want to play this? I mean, because like I know if we kill just one of them or if we let them go, they will attack the clan. Because that's basically always what happens. So I'd say kill them all and just count it as preemptive self-defense.
Yes. One could expect no less from a Shem. This will not take long. Well, shall we see if there's any truth to this story? These carvings make me curious.
Let's inform the keeper
She
first.
might be interested in these carvings, but let's see if there's anything more before we get excited. Besides, we're already here. Now, they said it was to the west.
Okay. I will say, I'm still always a little bit annoyed at the fact that like it definitely gets better in the later games, but so much of the armor for women in this game is just why? Like, go cover up your internal organs. You need those. You want to keep those safe. Trust me. Let's actually put our health potion on a hotbar. And there's like a Hannah with the moon under her right foot and 2 hairs beside her. Ooh. That's actually kind of interesting. I never actually knew it showed up in your inventory. Anything in the... We want to read through the codex every time? Might as well. In time, the human empires will crumble. We've seen it happen countless times. Until then, we wait. Keep to the wild borderlands. Raise Hannah and build Arafels. Present a moving target to the humans around us. try to keep hold of the old ways we relearn what was forgotten. We call to the ancient gods, though they do not answer and have not heard us since before the fall of our love. So that one day they might remember us, Algenan the eldest of the sun, and he will overthrow his father, Befall the protector, Fenarau the dread wolf, Andrio the huntress, Fanandine the friend of the dead, Derfaman the keeper of secrets, Ginanane the mother of Hala, June the master of crafts, and Sundays the hearth keeper. We gather every 10 years for the Arlot Van. We retell the ancient stories and keep them alive. When the humans' kingdoms are gone, must ready to teach the others what it means to be elves. Okay, these are just mark those for now. Do I have any loot? And that's disappointing. Switch to daggers, because I want to mostly go for a dagger run.
Poor animals. Why did they attack?
Come on.
Away with you!
Come on.
There you go!
I did it! Here!
Grab your bow again. On one hand, I do kind of like how it's kind of similar in Kodor 2, where you can switch weapons, and it's kind of useful at times when you mostly have a ranged character and you want to give them an option to defend themselves when someone gets close, or want to have the option to go in ranged when like rushing in for melee just isn't a good option. But I wish characters would switch back to ranged if they're set to it. Like if they notice that an enemy is dead, that was like with a melee range, and instead of just running in, they put the weapon away and they switch back to the bow, would be really helpful.
And so I
because sometimes it's too much. No creature is more revered by the Danes than the Hada. No other animal has a god of its own. These white stags are much larger than ordinary deer, and the Danish Hada keepers carve their antlers as they grow, making them curve into intricate designs. In ancient times, these stags bore elven knights into combat. Since the fall of the Dales, they are used less as mounts and more to pull the arrowheads. It is rather unfair the reputation that the wolf possesses in Ferelden. For people that so clearly adore their hounds, Ferelden simultaneously harbor the distrust of wolves if borders on the unreasonable. Unreasonable, that is, if one were not familiar with the ancient legends regarding werewolves. There was a time in Ferelden's past when demons inhabited the bodies of wolves in great number, causing the wars against werewolves and spreading great fear and panic. The werewolves were slain, but even today the noble wolf is still looked upon with distrust. From Legends of Ferelden by Mother Aenys of the Denerim 910 Dragon. That's like... Doesn't the game take place in 911 Dragon? Which I now realize is kind of a unfortunate hearing system. An attack by wolves upon civilized folk happens rarely, often only in times of desperation, and even then only when the wolves have the advantage of numbers. This can change during a blight, when darkspawn rise to the surface, their presence dramatically alters the savage nature of normal beasts. In Blight's past, as the corruption of the darkspawn spread to the wider areas of Talis, it would affect the animals found there, and the more powerful of them would survive and be transformed into a more vicious and dangerous beast. A Blight wolf is one such example, mad with the pain of its infection and only through the overriding command of the darkspawn does it still retain some semblance of its pack instincts. Blight wolves are always found in large groups and would tend to overwhelm a single target if they can, using the numbers to their advantage. It is fortunate that these creatures rarely survive corruption for very long. That's real fucking dark. That does actually kind of explain why animals attack so often in these kind of games. Because it always annoys me how it always really gets to me how much animals attack, because it's not really how most animals behave, but
As you desire.
give me. Thank you. There are places in the Brazilian forest where the veil is so thin the difference between awake and dreaming is next to nothing. In one such place, a wood shaper was born under such unfortunate stars that his mother named him Abelas, which means sorrow. and he lived up to his name. He could keep no apprentices and lost his stock of bows in mishap after mishap, until finally he had nothing. The rest of the clan began to fear that his ill luck would harm them too, and began whispering among themselves of casting him out. Abelas heard him and resolved to change his luck, so went into the forest alone to seek a suitable tree from which to make bows. At last he spied a young rowan growing beside a stream. He drew his axe and the tree crossed out in fear, begging to be spared. But Abelas said, "If I do not take your life, mine will share the end." With 2 strokes he felled the tree. From the tree he made the finest 3 bows he had ever crafted. Pleased, Abelas returned to camp and gave his bows to the hunters at once. By nightfall, however, the camp was in an uproar. The hunters had returned with braces of hairs, which when cut open revealed only worms and sawdust. The eldest said it was a sign that the hunters had robbed some spirit of its hosts, for it is well known that spirits do not go about the waking world on their own, but inhabit another creature's body. The elder worked a charm to banish the spirit back to the Fade, and the clan went to sleep hungry. The next day, the hunters brought back a doe, and again the beast bled sawdust. Now the clan began to fear the spirit would starve them, and wondered what they had done to deserve it. Abelas came forward then and told of the rowan tree. The elder considered for a long time before declaring that they must replace what Abelas had taken from the spirit. So he sent the hunters to dig up a rowan sapling and bring it living to the camp. Then the elder ordered the sapling planted and appealed to the spirits for forgiveness. There was a terrible sound then, as if the whole forest were crying out in the protest. Darkness fell upon the camp, though it was just past midday, and when the darkness passed, a young rowan grove, every tree bearing the frozen face of a terrified elf, stood where the camp had been. From then on, it was forbidden in every clan to cut living trees in the Brazilian forest. The spirits know nothing of forgiveness. The Roman Grove, a Danish tale from Forgotten Folklore and Histories by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. How are the Chantry Scholars the one writing down Danish folk tales? We don't need a Chantry source on this.
Well, all right.
Let's pick some elf fruit for later. You're gonna need a bunch of flasks though
cave.
to make potions
I don't
and
recall
poison.
seeing this before, do you? There's nobody else here, and I'm not running back for help unless there's something worth making a fuss over. Come
There's
on,
a demon
let's
in
at least
there.
see
Come
what's
on,
there.
Tamerlan.
How dangerous could it be?
And it's kind of tragic we can do nothing to convince Tamerlan out of this. I swear I did. This origin
Looks
always
like
breaks
the
my heart.
Shem was telling the truth, but these ruins look more human than elven.
And so I shall.
Short bow. Is that better than our current bow? It's exactly the same. Is it also? Yeah. Clan shield. Might be useful for Tamerlan. It has the exact same stats. Okay. It's all to be sold later.
Of course.
Come on, Tamerlan. I forgot how slow bows are.
How delightful!
Sweet. I guess technically I should have Tamerlan go in front because he actually has like a shield and such. But he also only has archery abilities, except precise striking. So it's not really sure if I wanna
And so I shall.
switch him to swords. Could try and stealth this.
Silent now. See,
Why does every control need to know its own codex entry, please? Ah, giant spiders. Giant spiders tend to appear in old ruins and other places where the veil has become thin. Because of magical disturbances, there are a great number of deaths. In such places, spirits and demons pass into the world of the living and attempt to take control of living beings, spiders among them. Not all scholars accept this explanation for the presence of these beasts. However, some claim that the thinning film allows magic to leak from the Fae, enabling such creatures as these spiders to transform into larger and more potent creatures than they ever would become naturally. While such spiders are known to possess powerful poisons and the ability to fling the webs at opponents in combat, studies of them are few and the full range of their abilities are unknown.
There, that's a trap.
Let's have
Let's go!
Tamlin draw their attention. And then go for a backstab. Damn it. I was kind of hoping we would get
Of course.
backstab points. I think backstabs do slightly more damage. I'm not exactly certain on the specifics.
Why do they bother?
Come on. I'd actually... Does it show up on the character record? Abilities. So go up simultaneously attacks cause more damage to attack and regular critical hits or backstab. Is there nothing on backstabs? Because I know they do more damage. And if you can get them reliably, it's usually good to go for them. Doesn't really tell me... Doesn't really mention it, does it? That sucks. I always like having my... Even when I have no idea how to properly read the stats, I just want to have stats of everything available. Let's loot this. Stealth again.
I won't hear a thing. I would watch out were I you.
Get these deactivated. I think there's another one near the other door.
See there?
Yes.
That's a trap. What shall we do here?
Come on.
Oh, I see. Of course. Not a chance.
Kind of got a difficult camera angle here.
Good night.
Well, I've been waiting for this.
Why are they going for Elaine and not Tamlin? Come on. I can't get backstabs this way. There we go.
Oh my! Well, all right.
It kinda worked. Is that better armor? No. Actually causes a bit
Of course.
would lower our dex.
I can't believe this. You recognize this statue, don't you? Back when our people lived in Arlathan, statues like these honored the creators. When the Shems enslaved us, much of that lore was lost. This looks like human architecture, with the statue of our people. Can these ruins date back to the time of Arlathan?
There isn't much left down here.
Yes. Time and decay take their toll. Still, there's bound to be something of value.
Let's be silent now.
Think, was there something back here? I do know we get an ambush if we try and go for the door. Is that on the second time we come around? I think there was some kind of trap or ambush here.
Unnatural
There is, I
and
just couldn't see it.
also
Damn it.
bothersome. Of course.
Come on. Accepts.
As you desire.
I keep clicking for every attack, even though I know I don't need it.
I would like a chocolate. How's that? Away with you!
Were those walking corpses? This place is haunted.
Okay. Oh, I should have waited up the hill. It's fine, we can just use healing potions. Gonna stand back. Tamlin, you engage it first.
As you desire.
Tamlin?
Ah, good.
Come on.
Trying to be tricky,
Now this should be amusing.
There we go.
Waiting for this.
We're lucky we managed to kill it, otherwise
creators.
Tamlin would have died.
Lovely.
What was that thing?
It's a bouncecorn. Couldn't you read its name? We could actually immediately get dexterity to 20. Let's do it. Fuck it. It's tempting to try and immediately get coercion highest, but I think I want to get combat training first. And dual weapon training. Just because getting rid of that like damage drop off would be nice. Because your offhand weapon deals slightly less damage. Come on.
And so I shall.
I get as much loot before we activate the cutscene. Oh, we can.
You aren't going to leave without taking
Damn it.
a closer look at the mirror, are you?
I don't want to look at it. Tamlin, please don't look at it.
It sat here for who knows how many centuries? What could be so dangerous? Don't worry, I won't break it. I wonder what this writing is for. Maybe this isn't... Hey, did you see that? I think something moved inside the mirror. Hold on, I just want to know what it is. Don't you see it? There it is again. Can you feel that? I think it knows we're here. I just need to take a closer look. It's showing me places. I can see some kind of city. Underground. And there's a great blackness. It saw me. Help! I can't look away!
Rip Tamlin.
Can you hear me? I am very sorry.
It's a very weird way to say it, Duncan. I love this origin so much, but it's also so painfully tragic. I love it, but I also really hate it.
You're awake. You've the god's own luck, Lethalon. You're back at camp. Everyone is worried sick about you. How do you feel?
Worried, where's Tamlin?
I don't know. The Shem who brought you here saw no sign of him.
Counted Shems in the forest, but we killed him.
Oh, the Keeper's not going to like that. But I doubt those Shems have anything to do with the one who found you. He was a Grey Warden and appeared out of nowhere with you slung over his shoulder. You were delirious with fever. He said that he found you outside a cave in the forest, unconscious and alone. He left you here and ran off again. The Keeper's been using the old magic to heal you.
Is anyone looking for Tamlin?
Of course. Most of the hunters are off looking for him right now. But the Keeper wanted to talk to you as soon as you awoke. Stay here. I'll get her.
I see you are awake, Dalan. It is fortunate Duncan found you when he did. I know not what dark power held you, but it nearly bled the life from you. It was difficult even for my magic to keep you alive.
Kept telling Tammy should have
Do
come
not
back.
worry, Dalan. Even I might have been intrigued enough by such a cave to explore it further. Duncan thought there may have been darkspawn creatures inside the cave. Is that true?
Might listen to anything a Shamlin says.
The Grey Wardens are an old and honorable order, Dalen, and we Dalish have enough enemies. Was he correct?
Or walking corpses and other strange monsters.
Walking corpses? Dark magic, but not darkspawn. I know not what the other creatures might have been. What else did you find? What is the last thing you remember?
A mirror. Tamlin touched
A
it.
mirror. And it caused all this? I have never heard of such a thing in all the lore we have collected. I was hoping for answers when you woke, but there are only more questions. And Tamlin remains missing. He is more important than any lore in these ruins. If he is as sick as you were, his condition is grave. Duncan returned to the cave to search for Darkspawn, but we cannot rely on him to look for Tamlin as well. We must go ourselves, and quickly. Do you feel well enough to show us the way, Dalan? Without you, we will not find it.
I'm up to it.
I am
feel fine.
relieved to hear it. I am ordering the clan to pack the camp so we can go north. Take Merrill with you to the cave. Find Tamlin
Merrill.
if you can, but do it swiftly.
The clan is leaving?
If there is any truth to what Duncan said, then Darkspawn may show up in these parts soon. We must get away from that horde. But that is not our only concern. Did you encounter any other humans out in the forest?
3 of them will be Kodomo.
So I feared. You have stirred up a hornet's nest, Dalan. Their village blames us
Yeah,
for
it's
your actions.
damn if you do,
As
damn if you
everywhere,
don't.
our people are not welcome here. We have stayed too long, and we must
I
move
should have
on,
guessed, honestly.
quickly.
Like, no matter what choice you make, the humans would be mad anyway. Take me out to the cave, find Tamlin.
Go quickly, for Tamlin's life hangs in the balance.
I will say there were like a few things because like this kind just began in Dragon Age 2, and like some of the changes into of like just in general how people talk about things just feel better in the sequel to me. Like a common thing is let's take that. Like a common thing is like here they constantly talk about finding lore, but then do they talk more about like remembering it? I feel like at times the games can feel a little bit patronizing towards elves. And 2 is like the least patronizing in that regard.
Is the Keeper sending you back to that cave to look for Tamlin?
Yes, I'm going with
I want to go with you. Keeper Marathari probably won't approve, but I can help find Tamlin.
Alright,
Good.
come with us.
I'll follow you, just to make sure Meryl doesn't go running to the Keeper when you tell her I'm coming.
We're gonna tell the keeper.
I see you have not left with Merrill yet. Is there something you need?
I'm gonna bring Fenrir with us. to the cave.
Fenrirel? Are you certain? I'm already putting Merrill at risk. I don't want to lose you too.
I want to help, Keeper. If we can find Tamlin, it's worth the risk.
Very well, then. You have my permission. And thank you for asking for it.
There's some more stuff here. We need the... Is it this yes we need the key for? No. This one then. It's gonna take everything. We're gonna need the money eventually. Ooh. Oh, that's the one. We've already got those.
So you have returned to us, Dalen. We are grateful you're whole and well.
Glad to be here as well.
So you should be. What were you two thinking, wandering into that cave without first coming to tell the Keeper?
You're right, Harwin. We should have come back here
I
first.
suppose your youth can be forgiven. Sadly, Tamlin pays the price. Losing you would be a terrible crime, Dalen. You belong to more than just yourself, or do you not remember?
Sorry, Harwin. I throw hard an accent.
Would you even know the reason behind your efforts? I wonder. Let us tell these children of the fall of the Dales. You can honor me by sharing in the telling.
Certainly, Harwin.
Come then. Help me as I go along. Children, hear of the fall of the Dales. Hear the tale of what makes you Dalish. Would you care to begin, Dalen?
Long ago we were slaves to the humans.
Yes, slaves to a terrible empire. The humans built on the darkest magic.
Why not start
when it fell
before
we
that?
Became free. We built a homeland in the Dales,
Dales
worshipping the
before
creators, and rebuilding the culture and history we lost in our long years of slavery.
But the humans wouldn't let us be.
They were resentful, because we would not worship their gods, and because we put our people first. Over the years, their nations grew cold toward the Dales. In their eyes, we were blasphemers and cruel tyrants.
Then the humans declared war on the Dales.
And so the Dales fell. They took our lands and dispersed our people, forcing us to live in their cities and abandon our gods. But many of us refused to relinquish our ways. We instead chose to scatter to the winds, wandering the lands.
We chose wandering the lands rather than a human rule.
To survive and preserve our culture, the clans stay apart, until the day the Elvenon have a homeland once more.
We shall return the old ways to those who have lost them.
We are the Dalish, keepers of the lost lore, walkers of the lonely path.
We are the lost Elven, and never again shall we see.
Thank you for your forbearance, Dalen. You remember both the tale and the oath of the Dales perfectly. I will let you get back to your tasks. I pray you find Tamlin quickly.
Did Elves ever live in caves?
I've never heard of such a thing. But in the days of ancient Arlathan, we lived free and spread far across the continent. We were as varied as the Shemlin, though fewer in number. Perhaps some of us lived in caves then, but all knowledge from that era is lost.
I should go.
Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
I want to make sure we have as much actual content as well as we can. Why is the statue decapitated? A broken moss-covered statue once represented. Canaan, the elven goddess of guides and navigation. To the Danish, she is known as the mother of the Hana. They say Ginnan was one of the people in the days before Atlathan, and the chosen of Andruil the Huntress. She was very beautiful, with hair of snowy white and as graceful as a gazelle. She kept always to Andruil's ways, and the Andruil favored her above all others. One day, while hunting in the forest, Ginnan came across a hunter she did not know. At his feet lay a hawk, shot through the heart by an arrow. Ginnan was filled with rage for the hawk, along with the hare. Along with the hare, is an animal much beloved of Andruil. Ginnan demanded that the hunter make an offering to Andruil in exchange for taking the life of one of her creatures. The hunter refused, and Ginnan called upon the goddess to curse him, so he could never again hunt and kill a living creature. Ginnan's curse took hold of the hunter, found that he was unable to hunt. His prey would dart out of sight, and his arrows would fly astray. His friends and family began to mock him for his impotence, what use is a hunter who cannot hunt? Ashamed, the hunter swore he would find Gananane and repay her for what she had done to him. He found Gananane while she was out on a hunt with her sisters, and lured her away from them with lies and false words. He told Gananane he had learned his lesson and begged for her to come with him, so she could teach him to make a proper offering to Andriel. Moved by his plea, Gananane followed the hunter, and when they were away from all her sisters, the hunter turned on Gananane. He blinded her first and unbound her as he would bind a kill fresh from the hunt. But because it was cursed, the hunter could not kill her. Instead, he left her for dead in the forest. And Gananane prayed to the gods for help. She prayed to Alganan for vengeance, to Mother Metal to protect her, but above all she prayed to Andriel. Andriel sent her hands to Gananane, and they chewed through the ropes that bound her. But Gananane was still wounded and blind and could not find her way home. So Andriel turned her into a beautiful white deer, the first Hannah, and Gananane found her way back to her sisters and led them to the hunter, who was brought to justice. Since that day, the Hannah have guided the people and have never led us astray. They listened to the voice of Gananane. From the tale of Gananane, as told by Kisharel, keeper of the Ralapharan clan of the Daily Elves. And what does this read? I love the Hannah so much.
Anithara, it's good to see you recovered.
How are the Hannah faring, Marin?
They fare well. The Keeper called for the clan to move on, and they will be ready to take us. One is heavy with calf, but it shouldn't be a problem. May I ask of Tamlin's fate? Some say the clan will leave before we find him.
We're going to find him, don't worry.
The Hala mourn our fallen. No sound is more heart-wrenching than their mourning cry. At least they won't be crying over you. They are quite fond of you.
Marin, don't break my heart.
I admire them for their strength and pride. They are equals, not servants like the Shemlin horses. At any rate, I do not envy the Keeper's decision. I'll pray for Tamlin's safe return.
Let's see. Ooh, it's scroll. Codex and the Fawn of Arnothin. Why, I need part 1. You ask what happened to Arnothin? Sadly, we do not know. Even those of us who keep the ancient lore have no record of what truly happened. What we have are accounts of the days before the fall and a fable of the whims of the gods. The human world was changing even as the elves slept. Clans and tribes gave way to a powerful empire called Tefinte, which, and for what reason we do not know, moved to conquer Albanan. When they breached the great city of Arnothin, our people feared the disease and loss of immortality. Fearful of the disease and loss of immortality, chose to flee rather than fight. With magic, demons, and even dragons at the behest, the Tefinte Imperium marched easily through Arnothin, destroying homes and galleries and amphitheaters that stood for ages. Our people were corralled as slaves, and human contact quickened their veins, so every captured elf turned mortal. The elves called to their ancient gods, but there was no answer. As to why the gods didn't answer, our people left only a legend. They said that Van Harald, the Red Wolf and Lord of Tricksters, approached the ancient gods of good and evil and proposed a truce. The gods of good would remove themselves to heaven, and the lords of evil would exile themselves to the abyss. Neither group ever again to enter the other lands. But the gods did not know that Van Harald planned to betray them. By the time they realized the Red Wolf's treachery, they were sealed in their respective realms, never again to interact with the mortal world. It's a fable to be sure, but those elves who traveled beyond claim that Van Harald still roams the world of dreams, keeping watch over the gods as they escape from their prisons. Whatever the case, Arnothin had fallen to the very humans our people had once considered mere pests, and it said that the Tefinte Magisters used their great destructive power to force the very ground to swallow Arnothin whole, destroying eons of collected knowledge, culture, and art. The whole of elven lore left only to memory. In the fall of Arnothin, as told by Kisharel, keeper of the Ralapharan clan,
hello there.
Ah, it's good you're well. You weren't here when Paul arrived, were you?
I've heard of you. Everyone is talking about you and the other missing hunter. A Grey Warden brought you back here.
Do you know about Grey Wardens?
Only from stories I heard back in the alienage in Denerim.
Paul's a flat air. He arrived here a few days ago from the human lands.
I heard rumors in a nearby human village that a Dalish camp was close, and I hope to find your hunters in the forest.
You were fortunate I didn't shoot you, Paul. I thought you were a Shem, and a bandit at that. You're not the first city elf to rejoin his people. I'm sure you'll find life among us more satisfying than with the Shems, if no less harsh.
In the alienage, we hear terrible stories about the Dalish. They aren't true, right?
Prove yourself useful when it can will be your home.
I'll do my best. I hope we find your missing friend very soon.
I forgot, did he get his Vanasneen by the time we see him in 2? Don't think he ever does.
I'm glad you've recovered. Once we find Tamlin, we can concentrate on the journey northward.
Thank you for the bow, Master Island. It is light and sturdy, much better than the one I made last year.
You are more than welcome. My father made it and used it in battle against the Clane tribes.
I will carry it with honor.
I'd like to hear the story of your father's
And I am proud to tell it. Our clan was one of the first to flee the Dales. When we came to Ferelden, the fiercest of the Shemlin were the barbarians known as the Clane. We didn't wait for them to attack us. Every Dalish clan in Ferelden united to bring the battle to them.
Are more Danish clans in Ferelden?
In Ferelden, in Orlais, wherever there are lands the humans cannot hold, we bring our Aravels. You met some at the last gathering. The ensuing battle went well for us. That day we carved out our reputation of being the deadliest archers. Our arrows won us the right to wander these woods at will. It was this very bow that my father used that day.
Thank you for the tale, Master Island, and especially the bow. I will honor its history.
Could I ask for a bow as well?
One of my own crafting, perhaps?
Yes, thank you. We're not really going to use the bow much, but it would be useful to have.
It may not have a history, but you'll provide one for it soon enough, yes?
Why would you give away your father's bow?
We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the 3 ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend, but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. Of course. Take whatever you need.
Okay. We have a bunch of extra stuff that we won't really be able to use. Actually, I should probably check my gear first. Which bow did he give us? Probably the scout's bow. I think rabbit aim actually kind of fits better here. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which Danish gloves we use. And Fenrir has the same gear. Okay.
Ah, back again?
So we're just gonna sell all of these weapons and we're gonna use the duplicate money trick because honestly, why not? I need to do this one at a time if I want it to properly work. If it doesn't work with 3, that should be... No, it doesn't work with multiple. Okay. I would actually like an injury kit. Let's have 2. 5 health poultices is probably enough. We will need to fight a little bit. So having... should be better. Puts new additional nature damage. Okay. I mean, honestly, let's just buy both. And this could be a good AoE. Stock up on as many flasks as we can. Death fruit. Hell fruit, and why not get some venom extract as well? So we could make 2 extra of both of these. Okay, just gonna hold on to the crafting materials for now, so we have the flasks for later. Leather helm, we don't have one equipped yet, so actually we might wanna. Let's find our secondary weapon. Singular Damisu. Should have not sold both of them then. Let's keep him on his bow. Oh, he is a warrior. Why can he not equip him? Oh, 24 strength. Let's buy back one of those Damisus.
Ah, back again? Of course.
Weaponry. Oh. Actually want one of these then. Hang on. We put the grey iron in our, I think, left is main hand. And then we will give Fenarel the backup. And we want to put it in the main hand so we don't have damage loss, which happens on the offhand.
By the creators, it is so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried.
And for us, it's good to see you.
All that time you were ill, the Keeper didn't know if you were going to live or die. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlin may be dead.
It's missing, that's all we know right now.
Awful. He's been a good friend to you since you were fledglings. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks.
I never spoken of my parents much as young.
What happened to them is a sad tale, and it's in the past. Reopening old wounds benefits no one.
I mean, Dana strive to learn of our past.
True. Perhaps you're old enough to hear this, though it hardly seems like the right time.
Is there ever a good time?
Very well. If I do not tell you now, you'll only wonder. Your mother was a hunter, one of the finest, and your father was the Keeper before Marathari. He was with us for a very long time. Your mother was from another town, and her elders did not approve of the match. She and your father had to meet in secret. One day, bandits caught them alone in the forest. Your father was killed, but your mother escaped.
I always thought they died together.
Your mother held to life long enough to give birth to you. But grief racked her heart. One night she simply walked into the moonlight and never returned.
I don't know what
the
to say.
The clan decided not to discuss this around you, lest it poison your heart with sadness.
You should have told me.
Our people have learned to live with much sorrow. It seemed only right that we not dwell on it. Your mother did leave you a gift. Something of your father's for you to have once you were older. Perhaps the time has come.
Don't you remember it now?
I was waiting for the right time. Until you were grown. But you are grown now, aren't you? Take this key. You'll see some chests behind the storage Aravel by the Halapen. One of them was your mother's. Its contents are yours if you wish.
Sweet. Let's go check it out. I don't actually remember the stats on this, but I just want to make sure we have everything before we leave. A single fire arrow, 10% spirit resistance. Not bad. Probably care about that more than the Warden's Oath, honestly. Because I don't think I'm gonna want the Constitution bonus from it.
It's good to see you healthy. We feared you would perish.
Scroll. Ew, it's 50 years from it. It tells of the woman entrusted as Shemlin name her prophet, pride of their maker. We know her as a war leader, one who, like us, had been a slave and dreamed of liberation. We joined the rebellions against the Imperium, and our heroes died beside her, unburned in definitive bonfire. But we stayed with our so-called allies until the war ended. Our reward? A land in southern lake called the Dales. So we began the long walk to our new home. Alam Shirao, the end of the journey, was our capital, built out of the reach of the humans. We could once again forget the incessant passage of time, but began the slow process of recovering the culture and tradition we had lost to slavery. But it was not to last. Chanti first sent missionaries into the Dales, and then, when those had thrown out the Templars, we were driven from Alam Shirao, scattered. Some took refugees in the cities of the Shemlin, living in squalor, tolerated only little better than vermin. We took a different path. We took to the wilderness, never stopping long enough to draw the notice of our Shemlin neighbors. In our self-imposed exile, we kept what remained of our knowledge and culture alive. The end of the long walk is sold by Kisharel, keeper of the Malefarian clan. It's Meryl. I will say, one issue I kind of had because I replayed the Origin recently. Meryl feels very out of character in this game compared to how she shows up in 2, and considering that she's actually like a permanent companion in 2, I kind of consider that the base of her personality, so sometimes it's a little bit jarring to go back to
The
this
Keeper
game.
told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlin, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time.
If anyone's coming with us,
That
any
depends on the
objections?
Keeper. I thought we're supposed to go alone.
Keeper is fine with it.
That's good enough for me. Now, are we ready?
Let's head out now.
And let us make haste while daylight lasts.
She sounds so detached from everything here. You can remember number 12 mage effects spells like fireball. Yeah, so we can have friendly fire happen. So we need to be careful. What are her spells? Cane bolt, flame blast, weakness. Let's activate flaming weapons actually. That reserves a lot more than I thought it would. Precise striking and switch it to a bow. Come on. Let's charge in.
What were those things? Were those Darkspawn?
Yes.
I've never seen anything like them. You can smell the evil on them. Where did they come from? Were they here before?
Maybe they followed Grey Warden here.
Followed them. But why would they come here? And why would he? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's hope we don't find any more of these monsters. Before we go, are you all right? Were you hurt during the fight?
I'm fine. Why do you ask?
You do look quite pale now that Meryl's mentioned it.
What are you applying?
Nothing. Forget I said anything. Let's go.
Well, all right. As you desire.
Let's keep going. What's in the codex? Genlock. Most common darkspawn on the underground. Stocky and tough. Genlocks are notoriously difficult to kill even by magic.
I wonder whose camp this is. Do you remember it being here?
Nope. It's fresh.
The Grey Warden said he was returning to the cave. Perhaps this is his camp. If so, he's not here now. And we've seen no sign of Tamlin. Maybe we should... Wait. Do you hear that?
No forest creatures, it's so quiet.
Exactly. The forest is too... still. Something's in the air. Something unnatural.
careful.
It
I don't
seems
like
whatever
this.
you woke up inside that cave has spread outside. The sooner we find this cave and Tamlin, the sooner we can leave. Take us there quickly.
I'm sensing more darkspawn.
More enemies.
I know what to do. You will regret crossing the danger.
We can't let this stop us!
There we go.
It's over for you!
Might as well do this with archery.
Oh my.
So did the flaming weapons not count on
Of course.
bows? It's about this melee weapon with flames. Oh yeah, it's only melee. Curious. Is that also the case for elemental weapons in 2? Never actually checked that. Would be good to know. Genlock Alphas. In any group of Genlocks is usually one who is dominant. The tallest, strongest, and smartest of the kind. Alphas serve as third commander, directing or bullying the others in combat. Emissaries, the most intelligent of the Alphas, become gifted sorcerers. Many abilities akin to blood magic. These are the emissaries and they usually only appear during a blight.
So
And
these are the
these
ruins.
are already dead.
Interesting. They're definitely of human origin, yet elven artifacts are scattered amongst them. Nothing explains the monsters, though. But we must find Tamlin, or what's left of him. I can't imagine he's still alive with those creatures about.
Don't talk
You're
like
right.
that, you don't know.
We should explore farther before I go on about my fears. I'm sorry.
Like it just, she feels like a different character. Maybe it's just because I hyperfixate too much on Meryl. That like the slightest details feel very off to me, but
So I shall. Die, damn you!
We did well!
Please.
see. Look. Should maybe try going in stealth.
They won't hear a thing.
Yep, there are more here. Come on. Can I get a...
Ready to fight.
That works.
Away with you! More than you can chew! And so I shall.
It is interesting, especially when we switch, but because I kind of play both 1 and 2 a lot, like
I would watch
interchangeably.
out were I you.
Just like whenever I'm in need to relax or play one of these games. It is really interesting to see the difference though between rogues here and rogues in 2. Because like Hawk will backflip across the entire battlefield just to stab someone. Let's try and get the emissary first. There's some winning shot. There we go. Might need a potion in a second. I need to get a little bit closer if we wanna see right here. That worked. Demonic poison. Potent poison deal additional spirit damage with each hit. Nice. Level up and let's get a little bit of cunning and let's get willpower to 15 just to make it a round number. Dual weapon sweep will be useful. Still not sure about dual striking. Although I've not really been able to get much backstabs recently, so maybe I should.
Let's be silent now.
Nope, nothing here.
So you were the one fighting Darkspawn. I thought I heard combat. You're the elf I found wandering the forest, aren't you? I'm surprised you have recovered.
I don't know you, human, nor do I owe you anything.
Even if you didn't owe this human your life, a Grey Warden deserves respect.
She owes me nothing. It was my duty to
compare those lines to
Dalish
how
to
she
your
talks
clan.
about Duncan in 2.
Your people have always been allies with the Grey Wardens.
Compare it. I hate it. Ah. An understanding human, how nice
My
for you.
name is Duncan, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you. The last time we spoke, you were barely conscious.
And Darana Tishan, Duncan of the Grey Wardens. I am Meryl, the Keeper's apprentice.
And I am Fenarel. Did you come here alone, human? Battling all those creatures?
Yes, though I must admit you took a great deal of pressure off me. Your keeper did not send you after me, did she? I told her I would be in no danger.
I'm not in the habit of rescuing humans.
It's a good thing I don't return that feeling, wouldn't you say? So, you and your friend Tamlin both entered this cave, and you saw this mirror.
You found some trace of Tamlin?
No, nor do I think I will. The Grey Wardens have seen artifacts like this mirror before. It is Tevinter in origin, used for communication. Over time, some of them simply break. They become filled with the same taint as the Darkspawn. Tamlin's touch must have released it. It's what made you sick. And Tamlin too, I presume.
Now is it technically a retcon? Because we learn later on that the Luvians are Elven artifacts. So is Duncan just mistaken because he automatically thinks it must be Defender?
The Darkspawn are drawn to the mirror. Do you want to lead them to your clan?
I do not fear this sickness. The Keeper knows how to cure it.
She may have weakened it, but she cannot cure it. Your recovery is only temporary. I can sense the sickness in you, and it is spreading. Look inside yourself, and you will see.
Don't know if I believe you, human.
Confirm it with your keeper later if you like. For now, we must deal with the mirror. It is a danger. It is done. Now let's leave this cursed place. I must speak with the Keeper immediately regarding your cure.
How dare you just destroy the mirror? Because, like, genuinely, like, recovering history is super important to the Danish, and it is kind of, isn't necessarily in the wrong, because he wouldn't know it is possible to cure it, which is proven in Dragon Age 2, because Meryl successfully purchased a taint from the mirror, but the fact that he never once actually, like, considers what would be best for the Danish in this situation. He just doesn't consider it. It doesn't come to mind to him. I don't like Duncan.
I would dare more than that to stop such a threat. If you prefer, I can wait outside while you look around, but I assure you, he will not be here. I suggest, however, leaving sooner rather than later. You are sick, whether you feel it or not, and it does you no good to linger. As you wish. I will see you back at camp.
Now, the reason why I wanted to send him, I didn't want to go with him, is because there was more loot back here and we couldn't access it when we were with Tamlin. You technically can if during the boss fight you let Tamlin do the fight by himself. Let's take the loot and the strange statue. Strange statue commemorating the emergence. Really? Hang on, there's a log. Isn't there? Can I not see non-conversation stuff? Why do they disappear so quickly? I can't read them that quick. And I read relatively quickly. Oh, nothing on it.
Deal with these ones and move on.
Come on.
Of course. Die, damn you!
Let's get these.
My word!
You won't know what hit you!
Love me. Whether I must.
You're in trouble now!
Come on. Can we now actually read what this thing says? Strange sets commemorating the emergence of a short-lived trading relationship with dwarves. Who dug too high and too frugal and struck us. Why do they disappear so quickly? And not log somewhere? Like it's honestly an endless frustration to me. I do actually wonder when in the timeline does Meryl gather up all the pieces in order to take them back to the clan. Because we know it's the same mirror as she's repairing it too. So I was kind of wondering, like, did she go back after Mahario was sent to the Wardens to collect it?
I'm relieved you have returned, and I did not expect to see you again so soon, Duncan.
I was not expecting to return so soon either, Keeper.
Dare I ask of Tamlin? What did you find of him?
Nothing. He's gone.
I see. Meryl, what about the mirror? Did you bring anything back?
I can answer that, Keeper. I destroyed the mirror.
I intended to use it to find a cure for this mysterious illness. I trust you had good reasons for your actions.
There is much to discuss, Keeper. I have learned a great deal since I was lost here.
Let us speak privately within my Aravel, then, Duncan. Meryl, warn the hunters. If Darkspawn are about, I want the clan prepared.
Manuvinen, Keeper. Right away.
Darlene, allow me some time to speak with Duncan. Seek us out at my Aravel later, and we can discuss your cure. Tell Harin Pyvel what has occurred. He now has the sad task of preparing a service for the dead. Follow me, Duncan. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
Oh, there's another scroll here. City elves. It's hard to tell our children about those of our people who have decided to live in the Shemlin cities. They ask, why would anyone want to be treated like that? And sometimes I do not know what to say. I do not understand it myself. They were freed, but they've returned to live in the service of their former masters. They house like animals and walled sections of the Shemlin cities. They do the meanest of tasks and return with nothing. Why, I do not know. We tell the children that the Elfhen are strong, that we are proud people, but the hero cities also choose to throw into the humans' heavy hands. How do we teach them pride when they know that there are others who would allow themselves to be trampled into the dust? So we tell them that the city elves are to be pitied. They have given up on the people, given up their heritage. Tell them that some people are so used to being controlled that when freed they know not what to do with themselves. They're weak and afraid of the unfamiliar, afraid of our life wandering. Above all, they're afraid even to hope that one day we may have a home of our own. Guess they're a keeper of the Relafarian clan. That's a lot of bottles.
So you return with the Grey Warden, but without Tamlin. What happened, Dalen? Is he truly lost to us?
It's my fault I felt the
You've
clan.
done nothing of the sort, Dalen. Do not blame yourself. It seems the will of the creators that I sing the dirge for those I held in my arms as babes. I think I know why our immortal ancestors would sleep. Swiftly do stars burn a path across the sky, hastening to place one last kiss upon your eye. Tenderly land enfolds you in slumber, softening the rolling thunder. Dagger now sheathed, bow no longer tense. During this, your last hour, only silence.
Don't recognize it.
Our ancestors did not age as we do. The Shemlen brought a quickening to our blood that changed us forever. Instead of death, those weary of life would pass into Uthanera, the waking slumber. In doing this, they made way for the young. It was supposed to be a beautiful time, a celebration of the Elder's long life and contribution to his people. Alas, we have no such ceremonies these days.
Kipper wants me to tell you to prepare a service.
Of course. We've no body to return to the soil, but we shall still sing for Tamlin. The creators must come to guide him to the beyond. Tell the Keeper, it shall be done before the clan is ready to move on.
What if Tamlin isn't dead?
We shall sing for him anyway, and pray he does not suffer. I ask only one thing, if I may. This Grey Warden. You have met him now, yes? Is he a good man?
Honestly, I want to be meaner than these options allow. He's a sham, that's all you need to know.
What is it he talks to the Keeper about, I wonder? Perhaps you should go and ask.
I should go.
Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
Is there anything else we can do around? I never checked if there was anything this way. Doesn't seem like it. I was thinking maybe there were like scrolls hidden back here. Oh. There's something. Dedicate to the Elven Wolf God Fenharel. I can't click it again. It's... The log is just gone. It's just gone. If you don't read it quick enough, you're not allowed to have it. First Bite had already raged for 90 years, the world was in chaos and God had risen, twisted and corrupted. Many gods of the Vinda was silent but one, with writing we have recovered from those times filled with despair. And from beneath from the gate is all considered only a safe that the world was coming to an end. Rise up fortress in a desolate end found a meeting to inspired soldiers of the Imperium seasoned veterans had known nothing their entire lifetime except hopeless war, came together. When they left White's help, they had renounced the road to the Imperium. They were soldiers no longer, they were the Great Wardens. Wardens began an aggressive campaign against the Blight, striking back against the Darkspawn, claiming lands given up or not. The Blight was far from over. Victories brought notice, and soon they received aid from every nation in Talos. They grew in number as well as reputation. Finally, in the year 992 of the Deventer Imperium, on the silent plains, they met the Iceman Dumont in battle. The third of all the armies of Northern Talos were lost to the fighting. With Dumont fell and the Darkspawn fled back underground. Even that was not the end. The Imperium once revered 7 gods: Dumad, Sessikal, Thoth, Handaral, Razigal, Lusikan, and Orphamil. 4 of his and his archdemons. Grey Wardens have kept watch through the ages, well aware that peace is fleeting. The war continues until the loss of the dragon gods is gone. Which one is the one that pops up during this blight? Fanharel. So only precious little we know about Fanharel, for they say he did not care for people. Agonanimate Tau created the world as we know it, and Rio taught us the way of the hunt. Sinace and June gave us fire and crafting. Fanharel kept to himself and plotted the betrayal of all the gods. After the destruction of Arnathan, when the gods could no longer hear our prayers, it is said that Fanharel spent centuries in a far corner of the earth, giggling madly and hugging himself in glee. Legend says that before the fall of Arnathan, the gods we know and revere fought an endless war with others of the kind. There is not a Haran among us who remember these others. Only in dreams do we hear whispers, the name of Gaudaran, and Daranthal and Anuris. They are the Forgotten Ones, the gods of terror and malice, spite and pestilence. In ancient times, only Fanharel could walk without fear among both the gods and the Forgotten Ones. Although he is kin to the gods of the people, the Forgotten Ones knew of his cunning ways and saw him as one of their own. And that is how Fanharel tricked them. Our gods saw him as brother, and they trusted him when he said they must keep to the heaven while he arranged the truce. And the Forgotten One trusted him also when he said he would arrange the defeat of our gods. If only Forgotten Ones would return to the abyss for a time. They trusted Fanharel, and they were all of them betrayed. Fanharel sealed them away so they could never again walk among the people. From the tale of Fanharel's triumph, as told by Kisrael, keeper of the Radafarian clan. Without going too much into Inquisition stuff, I find this interpretation of Fanharel the most believable one we have. Does Myron have any new dialogue,
You
by
bring
the way?
sad news. The Hala can sense it. They are restless and paw at the ground.
I wish we'd had more time to examine those artifacts. Perhaps another time, if the Keeper thinks it's wise.
I see you have not returned with young Tamlin. Are we to assume the worst?
They're not find him, but I don't believe he's
If
dead.
he is as sick as you were, I wonder. Sadly, it seems we will be leaving him behind soon, regardless. I know you and Tamlin were friends. My condolences on your loss.
Thank you,
May the
Mr. Ryder.
creators guide your path.
Do they have any new dialogue?
I'm training Paul. He'll have to learn how to handle that bow quickly.
It was good to meet you. Perhaps I'll get to hunt with you someday.
Should go.
Of course.
Does Ashao have anything new to say? Maybe?
Oh, thank the creators you're safe. I questioned the Keeper's wisdom at sending you off while you're still sick, but my doubts were misplaced. Tamlin isn't with you. Is it as everyone fears?
We never found his body.
Oh, poor dear. This is horrible news. Please take care of yourself and get better. We can't bear to lose anyone else.
I understand.
I will see you soon, my dear. You make me very proud.
Aww. And now comes the most heartbreaking part of the origin.
Your keeper and I have spoken, and we've come to an arrangement that concerns you. My order is in need of help. You are in need of a cure. When I leave, I hope you will join me. You would make an excellent Grey Warden.
I can't just leave my
And
clan.
we would not send you away, but there is more at stake.
The Darkspawn taint courses through your veins. That you recovered at all is remarkable. But eventually the taint will sicken and kill you, or worse. The Grey Wardens can prevent that, but it means joining us.
One thing that really annoys me so much about Duncan, and like I know other people really like him, and I guess he's a lot nicer in other origins, but he constantly dismisses the Danish. It really gets to me. I'm gonna join out of
This
pity.
is not simply charity on my part. I would not offer this if I did not think you had the makings of a Grey Warden. Let me be clear. You will likely never return here. We go to fight the Darkspawn, a battle that will take us far from your clan. But we need you, and others like you.
I would rather take my
A
chances.
great
I
army
refuse to
of
go.
darkspawn gathers in the south. A new blight threatens the land. We cannot outrun this storm. Long ago, the Dalish agreed to aid the Grey Wardens against a blight should that day arrive. We must honor that agreement. It breaks my heart to send you away, as it would to watch you die slowly from this sickness. This is your duty, and your salvation.
And I always find it heartbreaking, but I always have my Maharios. Not wanna go. It feels like such a personality shift to suddenly go, oh yeah, I'll gladly join you. Like it to me, it really does not feel like it fits.
A home that Darkspawn may tear apart. This way you can find a cure and protect your clan. Have courage.
I cannot express my sadness at sending one of our daughters off into such danger. Away from the clan that loves her. But if this is what the Creators intend for you, Dalen, meet your destiny with your head held high. No matter where you go, you are Dalish. Never forget that.
Please do not cast me away.
I am sorry, Dalen.
Very well, you leave me no choice. I hereby invoke the right of conscription.
And I witness and acknowledge your invocation, Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
I'm sorry this was not your choice, but the Darkspawn threat is simply too great.
You will pay for
We
this,
all
human.
pay a price for what we must do, I'm afraid.
I know you'll do your clan proud, Dalen. Take this ring. It is your heritage, and will protect you against the darkness to come.
A valuable gift. So, are you ready to go?
Can I say goodbye to my clan
Of
at
course.
least?
Say your farewells, then let us be off. We have much ground to cover.
Come then, Dalen. Before the Creators guide you from us, let your clan embrace you one last time.
For real. This origin is so deeply sad. Especially if you have like a Marrow romance playthrough too after this. I always kind of had canon and write it as Mahario and Meryl being in like a will they won't they relationship, and like this is like the breaking point for them because they both don't want to be separated, but they don't have a choice anymore. The angst, the sadness. You think as somebody who primarily writes angst, I would be used to it, but no.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kalen, I didn't expect
a royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name?
There is one thing. Like, there is kind of like a personality shift when you get here. Because, like, you can still be mean to humans. But you can't really say you don't want to be a warden as much. Like, you kind of have to be one. So I kind of have to believe that, like, the journey is so long to permit that personality change. But it does feel jarring sometimes.
You've got yourself a lively one, Duncan. And I was beginning to think the wardens were all stodgy priests. You are Dalish, are you not?
I hear your people possess remarkable skill and honor.
Too bad the same can't be said of yours.
We do sometimes seem experts at fear and treachery, but not always. I tell you this, you are very welcome here. The Grey Wardens will benefit greatly with you amongst them. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
Sound very confident about that?
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
Like, why would I be polite here?
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
He didn't seem to take the Darkspawn very seriously.
True. Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
Good if you were not such a
You must
fool.
not speak of the king so. He is over-eager, perhaps, but he is also one of the few Grey Warden allies. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
Let's see. Oatmeal might be nice.
I agree. We have until nightfall to begin the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The joining is what will cure you of the suffering your tainted blood surely brings you. If it had been possible, I would have done it before now.
Why didn't you tell me about this cure before?
It is a secret, and it is not a simple antidote. The joining is what will make you a Grey Warden.
Am I the only recruit you have?
There are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive.
Fine, let's get this
Feel
over
free
with.
to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
Sweet. Let's see. New codex stuff? A lot of new codex stuff. Archdemon in Darkness, Eternal, they search for those who had goaded them on. But at last they found the prize, the god, the betrayer, the sleeping dragon, the mud, the taint twisted even the false gods, and the whisperer. I woke at last in pain and horror and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world, first blight. Tronidis, age 7. False dragon gods of the Finn Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in the relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it is instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnant for the desire for vengeance upon the ones who goaded the Magistrates to assert heaven. Whatever the reason, when the Darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it's immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens twisted and corrupted and leads the Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land of light. No matter the power that triumphs, the mage lords of the defense were men and doomed to die. So voice whispered within their hearts, shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields. You are the lords of the earth that go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods. Secret they worked magic upon magic, and the power and order of vanity they turned against the veil until at last it gave way. Above them a river of light, before them throne of heaven waiting beneath it. Footprints of the Maker and all around them echoed of lost silence. When they took a single step towards the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. And so was the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection for this fleeting who have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Find me where they cast down, for no mortal may walk boldly into the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of the crime, bodies so main, and distorted that none should see them, and know them for men. Deep into the earth they fled away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who would goaded them on, until at last they found the prize. God the betrayer, the sleeping dragon the moth, the taint twisted ever the false god, and the whisperer. Awake at last in pain and horror, and let them wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world, the first blight. Thessalonians 8. Kari Wilds. It's set at the midst of the Black Age when werewolves stalked the lands of around it in numbers, kept every farm holder indoors in the Hound of Earth doorstep. Powerful awe of the Alamari people stood and declared that he would put an end to the threat. As Arning stood on the border of the Dark Forest on the southern border of Froden Valley, he claimed that the werewolves used the forest and the midnight assault on humanity. For 20 years, this all led an army of warriors and hounds deep into the forest in his hunt for the werewolves. He slaughtered only every wolf he came upon, thus every member of the chastened waterfall. Any one of them, he said, could harbor a demon inside him and thus be a werewolf in disguise. For 20 years, the forest rang with screams and the rivers ran red. Tales say that no chastened woman found her sons out dead in the Oz Blade. Spoke one of those very blades from one son's heart and pointed into her own chest, cursing the Oz's name as he did so. Where her blood touched the ground, a mist began to rise. It spread and spread until it was everywhere in the forest. The Oz's army became lost, and said that they died there. Others say the one is sailed. Ruins of the dawning stand to this day, filled with the ghosts of women waiting eternally for their husbands to return. Forest of the legend is, of course, the Kakari Wilds. There are as many legends about the great southern forest as there are shadows, so the saying goes. Chastened waterfolk have made their home there since mankind first came to these lands, and the wildlands spread as far into the south as anyone has ventured. Beyond the mists are vast tracts of snow, white-capped mountains, and entire fields of ice. It is a land too cold for mankind to survive, the chastened eke out an existence even there, and a ton of horrors beyond the wilds that the lowlands folk cannot begin to comprehend. The most proud and simply ends with Kakari's Wild. There's nothing beyond. The wilds are a land of great trees, wet marshes, and dangerous monsters. What more need be said? The end of the world is by Mother Aenith's Chauncey Scott in 918 Dragon. Kanan, and hope for a while like in the tales of King Riding was fabled Grey Warden's sustained gods. Son of the legendary King Merrick Theron, Kanan was the first foreign king born into the land free from foreign rule in 2 generations. Since his father's death, he held the throne alongside his queen, Enora. It takes more than 19 to win a battle. The game was born a farmer during a time when his country was under foreign occupation. When he was still a boy, he joined the resistance where his considerable technical genius quickly became apparent. Became close friends with Prince Merrick, last true heir to the throne. Together they helped the rebels to drive out the force of the Elysian Empire. Merrick raised his strength and ability, and Logain is now more of a symbol than a man, who represents Froden ideas of hard work and independence. Sweet. Just to be very safe, I'm gonna do a quick save. Because I need to take like a quick 5-minute break. Apologies for that. Be back as soon as I can. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. I try not to have too many breaks during streams, but can't always be prevented. Actually, wait. It annoys me that daggers are in point 2. Scout's bow. No, it's like the Von Dexterity, it's not worth it.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere?
And the wrong tab again. Better. Tell me about Ostagon.
Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logains closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important.
Anywhere to get supplies.
Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest.
I'll be on my way.
Good luck to you then.
We're gonna leave the mages in peace. And we have a win here.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself.
Gotta be honest, it took me a while to realize.
One of the mages summoned by the king.
Took me a while to recognize this as Win. I'm Elaine.
Well met. And good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
It's not like the skill that will save us.
And I'm sure you have plenty of that to offer. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
You faced Darkspawn before?
Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade?
We call it the Beyond, but I know of no connection.
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
So Darkspawn are dream spirits?
Sadly, no. They are kin to neither the gentle Fade spirits nor the malevolent demons. Shamefully, they were once the souls of men. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
That soldier just standing there is intimidating. Chantry says many things.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
Don't you have any proper advice?
Advice? Never. You young ones know all there is to know about the world anyway. Why would you need advice from an elder? But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your Maker. Die in this battle, and when you stand before the Maker...
I really hate sermons of that kind.
Any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some Darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad.
At least he recognizes a no.
Well, you're not what
That's
I thought
honestly
you'd be.
more than I would expect from David. What's that supposed to mean?
Me and Sir Knight were just betting on what the third recruit would be. Not an elf, yet here you are. The name's Davith. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
Isn't that another paranoid?
That depends on what kind of life you've led. Me, I'm perfectly willing to accept that this joining is some kind of punishment. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
So what, they wouldn't find me?
Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
Wouldn't be here if I did.
You take what you get, right? Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Sweet. Can I steal the stuff in his chest? Yes, I can.
You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously?
I really wish we could be meaner to him. Like, let me threaten him.
What?
Just let me threaten him.
You're the one who arrived with the Grey Warden. Please, forgive my rudeness. There are so many elves running about, and I've been waiting for... it's simply been so hectic. I never thought... Please, pardon my terrible manners. I'm just the quartermaster, a simple man. No one special.
I should be... Like, it shouldn't be just, oh, you are forgiven. Or perhaps just, like, this should be a further option.
Yes, of course, you're very right. Did you come for some supplies, perhaps?
Like, let me give an option, like, if you keep treating your workers like this, I will come for you. Like, give me something to, like, show a bit of personality, even if we can't follow up on it. Just the fact we can say it. What kind of supplies do you have?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course, to keep morale up, you understand. So long as you keep it quiet.
Now I'm actually a bit unsure if I want to use the Phoenix Recruit armor. Because I got the mod because I know some of the later stuff we get from it looks really good. And it has really good stats. Like, it's just 498 for light armor. Which compares to, like, the 3 points on the Danish armor, it's really good. And it's probably better than anything we're going to find in a while. Question is, do I want to buy it? Because the issue with it is it actually I want to get a recipe. Get as many of these recipes as we can. The main issue I have with it is just that it falls into the issue of a lot of fem armor in games where it for some reason constantly has like the stomach uncovered. But I think for now I'm gonna go for it. I mean, it's not any worse than the Danish armor by default. It's also sell. Don't want to sell that. Anything in here? Can actually sell these.
Hello
check
again.
his normal stuff. Backpack, absolutely. Need as many of those as we can. Don't think we're gonna make traps much, but I do want to go for oh, we don't have money for it, damn it. Let's equip these.
Hello again. Is there something you need? Let me...
Can we sell these? think I maybe have been doing the glitch wrong a few times, but oh well. Do really want to get these recipes, but they are expensive. So I might be able to get those recipes later. That's fine. For now, what else do we need?
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes.
Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me.
They could have at least given you clothes.
I doubt I'm that lucky. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Why would I want to help you?
Because you might want something I don't need. Them circle wizards got a chest they keep things in. Magical things. And I stole the key. That's why I'm here. I got one of them drunk, took his key and tried to sneak to the chest. They assumed I was deserting. I can't use it from here. But I'd trade you for some food and water.
Let's see what I can do.
Just ask my guard for his. He's...
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
I had a chat with him,
Don't
actually.
expect it was an enlightening conversation.
Ask for some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
So he missed one meal. This man could be hanged soon.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
Sweet.
So?
Give him the food.
Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Yeah, we'll give him the food.
Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Sweet. We can't actually use it yet because the chest is guarded and we can only use it at night, but... let's piss off the
I
priest.
suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing?
I don't know where your
A
gods are.
Dalish wanderer, I presume. The Maker will not refuse to bless you, if you are willing to receive him. Then begone, heathen. That the Grey Wardens accept the likes of you is forever their greatest weakness.
Fuck Andrastians. Where's Jory? Wait, oh wait, Jory is here.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
You've heard about me?
Not a great deal. We've been waiting for your arrival, though. Sir Jury is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Aemon. I wasn't aware elves could join the Grey Wardens. Those camped in the valley are all human.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just that in some places, elves are not always permitted in the military. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
I wouldn't be here if I had a choice in the matter.
I fought hard to get here. Impressing Duncan was not easy. Tell me, has anyone told you what this joining ritual entails?
That's something might be going
I
into
never
the
heard of
walls.
such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Sweet. Now we can go and get Alistair. Should we talk to the kennel keeper first?
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help.
Why would I help you?
This beast is in the king's service, just like you and I. This is a
I am not.
Mabari, smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first.
I'll give it a
Go
shot.
in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down.
Like, Elena loves animals, so of course she's gonna try and help here.
Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon?
I might be one.
There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white with a blood-red centre.
Where in the wilds would I find this
It
flower?
usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year.
See if I can find one.
In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
Sweet. Let's go and get Alistair. We're gonna try and do as many of the side quests in the wilds as we can. Can we? Yeah, the Tranquil's guarding it.
That course of action is inadvisable. Welcome, young woman. I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity.
I'm gonna go into this, but I kind of think this shows, because like, one critique of how it's out of the Circle is, even if you truly believe there's a potential risk in mages, like, of course not every mage is ancient, but even if you truly believe that there needs to be some protection against mages, the Circle seems like an extreme end to go for. And I think this conversation reveals why.
It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not.
So what this kind of reveals to me is the Circle uses Tranquils to get money. Like, they need the enchantment services to make money. While the Chantry is a large enough organization that they have fielded, like, the Templars are a fielded army. Like, the Chantry is very well financed. They are perfectly fine, financially speaking. So they control this. They control the mage circles, force them to be in circles, but also keep the mages self-reliant for money. So the only way a circle can stay afloat is if they tranquil their own mages in order to have enchantment services. And I don't technically have proof of this, but it does make me question how often would they tranquil somebody not because they needed, like, the person was a threat. How often did they do it just because they needed the money? Because they needed enchantment services? I can't prove it happened, but it is a question that this conversation brings up to me, because I do not trust the circle not to do this. Especially if we look at situations like the Kirkwall Circle.
Goodbye.
But yeah, once we are after the joining ritual, we can speak with him, or like we can open that chest, because he won't be guarding it anymore.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle? I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
You're a very strange human.
You're not the first to tell me that. Wait.
I mean, technically he's not fully human.
I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
I didn't make your day
Hardly.
worse.
I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit, the Dalish.
What gave it away,
Right
Devanestin?
I apologize.
And you must be
Did
honest.
Duncan mention me? Nothing bad, I hope. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
What can you tell me about this joining?
Honestly, nothing. Try not to worry about it. It will just distract you. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is.
Probably because we're too smart for you.
True, but if you're here, what does that make you?
I was forced against my will. Incredibly unlucky.
Ouch. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
What about the other recruits?
Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them?
Yes, both of them.
That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now.
Let's go.
If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Sweet. Steal the stuff in here. Fire arrows could be useful. I don't really use elemental arrows that much. I maybe should. I'm always worried that it's like that I'm gonna waste them too early.
Sisters and gentlefolk, we stand here on the eve.
Is there anything else around might be of interest? Not really.
Let us consider the evil before.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Kokari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood. 1 for each recruit.
Surely you could have acquired some blood before now.
Of course. You must work together to collect the components, however. It's as much a part of the joining as what comes after.
And what are the second tasks?
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are these?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
How will we find this archive?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Find the archive and 3 vials of blood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
Okay, 1 issue that really bothers me about this section. Daviv is built as an archer. Like his one ability is an archer specific one, and the other is a rogue general one. But if we look at his tactics, if any target is using a melee attack, he will go in, use dirty fighting, then switch, because he's then too close to the enemy, he will switch over to his sword, which I really don't want to. So I don't mind this as much. I really want him to stay an archer. I think what I want to do is I want to switch this to what would be a good one? Let's see. Range on magic attack. Use spinning shot. Can I? Let's see. Surrounded by at least 3 enemies. Switch to melee weapons. Can I not add anything else? No, that's all the slots I have, so I'm gonna disable this for now. Okay, so I don't think I need to save it. I think that's just if I want to reuse this. Being attacked by ranged attack, activate shield cover. Can we see what it does? No. Okay. Jury, mighty blow if the enemy has more than 25% health. And Thunder Arms. What do those do? As attack passive physical resistance penalty to attack. Not bad. Shield cover minus mod wide shield provides greater chance of affecting missile attacks. Okay, so it only works on ranged weapons. And it's a sustainability. Or it only works on ranged attacks. Interesting. There were quite a few things we need to do in the wild, so we'll be
you all have business
busy
in the
for a
wilds.
bit.
The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Okay. Not sure if you want to do the Hammer of his Shell today too. Where are you moving to?
Direct me as you desire.
Well, you asked for it.
We must be victorious!
Technically, I think I should switch Spinning Shot to melee enemies, shouldn't I? Now that I think about it, because it slows them down. So let's see if he starts using it down. Yes, he does. And now he actually stays in ranged. We will have to fight
And so I shall.
a lot of wolves here, unfortunately. I always hate fighting animals in games like this. Because, like, I feel like it should be preventable. Missionary Jogby. A letter. Personal letter. New codex. My dearest son, appease me you wish to follow in my footsteps and bring the Maker's words to the enlightened. Wish I thirst in that same space to do so. Apologies for leaving early to the wild sun, but I want to set up camp and get things started. Taste and respect one with survival skills in the wild, so I hope to get a grip on that before you arrive. Maybe establish an agreement with local tribes that we can be friends when you came. When you reach the wild, you'll find it difficult to navigate. If visit certain landmarks below, if you follow them, they will lead to a location I've scouted out where I've left you some supplies. If you're lost, try to get back to that spot and I'll find you. Landmarks are as follows, beginning at the ends of the wilds from Moscow. Look for a tree leaning on a ruined building. Pass under a fallen tree bridge. Pass a submerged tower on the right. Look between a high ruined arch and a mossy standing stone. Walk along the path of roots and stones, look for 2 large statues with a chest between them. There you will find our meeting point. If you joke, my son, hope to see you soon. Your father, Rigby. Well, sad to be them. And one good thing about a plight that's what brings people together. Anastar was another stumble one that recruited him into the Grey Warden, so I rescued him, as Anastar would say. Not my emotion isn't a bad with coordinates up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. Wayne's standards became apparent early on, particularly her skill at healing magic. This was well liked by all her mentors and was recognized as an exceptionally gifted student. Even the Templars who watched her couldn't deny that she represented the best the circle had to offer. She was an intelligent young woman who possessed a quiet confidence and maturity beyond her years. She spent many years mentoring apprentices within the circle, and her peers stood highly of her. She was asked to be first, John to Irving's successor, but she refused, saying that she had no desire to work in the upper echelons. When Road reached the Tower of Kincaid and Scar to Arms, wouldn't volunteer to go towards the bar. I wonder if those will update over time. I think they will. Sending the furthest point of encroachment by the ancient Diviner Imperium into the barbarian lands of the southeast, the fortress of Ostagar was once one of the most offensive holding locations. Once offensive holding started the Waking Sea. It stood at the edge of the Kokari Wilds, watching for any signs of invasion by the barbarians known today as Jason Wilders. Setting a narrow pass in the wilds, the forest needed to be bypassed to reach the fertile lowlands to the north. It was exceedingly difficult for the Wilders to attack because of its naturally defensible position. Like most superior holdings in the south, Ostagar was abandoned after the Fintus collapsed during the First Blight. It was successfully sacked by the Jason Wilders, following the creation of the modern Froden nation fell to ruin completely. It remained unmanned for 4 centuries, so most of the walls still stand as the Stout Tower of Vishal, aimed at the great arc and the order its construction. Ostagar remains a testament to the magical powers of the Imperium that created it. The Fade. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. For as long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart. Always as close as our own thoughts, but not possibly separated from our world. The definitive Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade. An ultimately futile endeavor. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the desperate and ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, so as cataloging a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of Valyrium, one is not able to control or affect it. Spirits will dwell there, however, can. As the Chantry teaches us, the great fall of the spirits is they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through the sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like the reflections in the mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons mainly plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals, and build around with no other ambition than to taste life. Dogs are an essential part of Froden culture, and no dog is more prized than the Mombari. The breed is as old as myths that have been bred for the wolves who served Dane. Prized for their intelligence and loyalty, these dogs are more than mere weapons or status symbols. The hounds choose their masters and pair with them for life. To be the master of a Mombari anywhere in Froden is to be recognized instantly as a person of worth. The Mombari are an essential part of Froden military strategy. Trained hounds can easily pull knights from horseback, or break lines of pikemen, and the sight and sound of a wave of war dogs howling and snarling has been known to cause panic among even the most hardened soldiers. I'd be curious to see how they go up against pikemen, though. Because that's usually the strategy against charging animals.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
Let's try to bandage him up at least.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
You know, I really wish my Warden had proper armor.
An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Standing next to everyone else.
Calm down, Sir Jory.
Really
we'll be fine
jarring.
if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
You sound like a coward to me.
I am simply trying to stay alive. You do not see me fleeing, do you?
A bit of fear isn't unnatural, you know. Few relish meeting Darkspawn up close. I know I don't.
Not many humans, maybe.
I know I'm relying on you to protect me. Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Sweet. Trying to think. What other locations do we need to find? Where's Alfred here? So there are like a few locations that we we need to make sure we find. Can't remember all of them from the top of my head. Okay, there they're coming. Come on. Was trying to stun the other one, but okay. Let's see. First find the Darkspawn blood. Nice.
My word! Time for some fun!
Come on.
One down.
That was a very weird arcing shot.
Do adore this.
Come on. And with this one, got some poison and stuff, but no actual Darkspawn blood yet. There's the Waltz flower we need. See, can we walk on this? Huh. Never knew this was actually like walkable.
As you desire.
Let's set these two ahead, see
Well, if I must.
what happens.
Now this should be amusing.
Sure, they can handle that one Hurlock themselves, right? Are you not gonna do anything against them?
Lovely.
Right.
Yes?
Don't need the archery defense on him anymore. Perfect.
Some blood on me.
And see if we can find some loot.
Lovely.
And it's 3 vials of Darkspawn blood. That's 4 vials. Where was the path we needed again? Oh, this health.
Say your prayers.
Try and get some backstabs. Sweet. Gonna need to find a way to get them to stop aggroing on the lane and get them to target the warriors. See, where's the crossing point? It's here.
You can smell its breath from here.
Come on. Why are you... Why does the lane keep getting targeted by everyone? Come on. Sweet. That's what we can.
Of course.
And we've got the
Lovely.
missionary chest. Silk carpet, a ladder, and a chastened flat plane. There's some joke, but fair, this is not ladder all right. I've had difficult finding chastened to bring them to the Maker's Word. Whoever seen evidence of the passing, they appear to have left this area in great haste, possibly fleeing the so-called darkspawn room, gathering in the wilds in even greater numbers. If I've shored up and everything else, I can spare my son. I'll try to find you once I have found a safe place, and only that you will be safe. But luck, we'll meet again. See you, tell your mother to love her and take care of her family. Rest in peace, Rigby. Let's go find Rigby's corpse next. What else do we want? I kind of want to get herbalism. Eventually. Yeah, let's get herbalism now. And I think I'm gonna get dual striking. I don't think I want to use it all the time, but I think it will be useful in situations where I can't get backstabs. Just for that extra damage boost. I forgot where the body is. Where Rigby's body is. Because we need to get that before we get to the archives. Because once we get to the archives, Morgan just fast travels us to...
And so I shall.
Just fast travels us to Flemeth, and... then we get fast traveled back to camp, so...
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so That's it.
Well, all right.
Time to hurl up.
Of course.
Okay, he's targeting me back. Take it off. Now we go for backstabs again. Sweet. That actually kind of works. Just switching back and forth like that. Stealth. Genlock's about to attack.
Of course.
Actually, I never put on the Keeper's Ring, did I? So Dexterity, Iron Ring. It's just a ring. Doesn't seem to do anything. Let's take as much items as we can to sell later.
As you desire.
Is that the only one? Oh, there was more. Now we aggro onto these. Sweet.
Well, all right.
Take everything we can. Switch back to your bow. And there's Rigby. Because we need this quest in order to find the item he needs. It's an Oswald Testament of Rigby the Missionary. Proud to speak over the Maker's word. I've come to the world to seek the charm, but I fear I will die here at the hands of the Darkspawn. Leave all that came with him, my wife Jeddah. Should the reader of this note feel charitable about it, sealed lockbox in our camp. Let's on defend the ruin in the western reaches of the wild. It's my word that this knockbox find my wife from Redcliffe, that it's so sealed shut when it reaches her. So we're going to try and find that lockbox, and we're going to return it. Because I want to be nice. Can I not move the map around? No. But it's this way.
Lovely.
I know where it is, not gonna. I think this path is the best way to get there. It is nice to be back to these games, and also I'm glad that we're moving
Piercy will need to fight
the mods
blight ourselves.
helped keep all the glitches from last time away. Because last time I tried streaming this game, it did not work, safe to say.
Oh, is that right?
There's so many on it. Come on. Oh damn, Joey's already down. Let's try and get backstabs. Come on. Stun.
It's a fight. How lovely.
Come on.
Dead yet?
Switch back to your bow.
Here.
It's gonna be tough. Of
course.
How dare you?
And so I shall.
No. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so
As you desire.
where's Anastar's body? Anastar, this is not a good time to nap.
Or did I do really badly back there?
Okay, Anastar, take an injury kit. Jory, just tough it out.
And so I shall.
Get in cash. Runs on in the rubber and find Rigby Secret's guys. Side an iron lockbox sealed with wax. Take the lockbox to bring to Jeddah. I think that's like the main stuff we actually need here. Like we can now, like there's the one Hotech thing. But I feel like I can do without that. Because that's just an extra battle. That I don't remember really brings us anything useful, so let's go find Morgan. I'm gonna go into stealth just in case. Come on. Let's deal with these. No, and do not run in.
Yes.
Okay, I need you to switch back to your bow and arrow.
See there? That's a trap. I would watch out were I you. See there? That's a trap. All right.
Let's activate what we can.
Lovely.
Oh, it's only deactivated. Come on. Deal with this guy. Esther's already down again? Oh, David, you're fucked.
What now? That is so unnecessary. And so
Come
I
on.
shall.
She's gonna need to heal and potion herself through this fight. Come on. We missed basically all of our attacks. That's not good.
My word!
Yeah, Anastasia was lying when he said he relied on me to protect him. He needs it.
I'm ready.
What else? I did not want to talk to you. I want to loot this guy. Anastasia, you're injured, my friend. You need a healing kit. Should be nearly done. I think there's one more big fight. Forgot. They regenerate health very slowly, but at least you got the bow and arrow already still. Let's see what they do. Let's move up.
So I shall.
As you wish.
On it.
Okay, I need to get rid of this guy. Still, if everybody's connected.
Take that! Time for
Why are you?
Here.
Oh my!
Yeah, but you annoying piece of ass. There we go.
Say I didn't warn you. Let's just die already.
It's a fight. How lovely.
That's another stuff. Took you long enough. Okay, we've got them. Actually, kind of curious. Is there anything back here? Absolutely nobody is hiding in here, so nobody can secretly ambush us at the top of those stairs.
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
Let's Let's first know who you are and where you come from.
You are the intruder here. I believe the first question is rightfully mine. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten like little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine.
I know nobody's gonna be surprised by me saying this. Absolutely no one. But I really want an outfit like Morrigan's. I'm Elaine. Pleasure to meet
Now
you.
that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer. You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Then who removed them?
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Is this a joke?
If so, it seems the truthful rather than funny sort, no?
Great. She's a thieving, weird, talking, funny sort of witch.
Not all in the wilds are monsters. Flowers grow as well as toads. If you wish, I will take you to my mother. 'Tis not far from here, and you may ask her for your papers if you like.
We should get those treaties, but I dislike this Morrigan's sudden appearance. It's too convenient.
I don't understand, so are you a witch of the wilds?
Have I been dishonest? Some call us witches, yes, but purely out of superstition.
You know what the Circle of Magi is, don't you? The Circle requires an accounting of all mages. That is the law of the land and the Chantry.
If you wish to tell your chantry about me, go ahead. I have nothing to fear from priests.
Why are you interested in helping us?
Why not? I do not meet many people here. Are you all so mistrustful?
Tell us more about your mother
She
first.
prefers her privacy, but I imagine she will be curious enough why you were here. Come, see for yourself.
She'll
Let's
put
go
us
with
all
her.
in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you.
Honestly, I wish she'd put David in a pot. It's not like he's gonna be much use to us otherwise. Is the game about to crash? No. I'm surprised. It looked like it was gonna crash for a second.
Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Davith. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Does your elven mind give you a different viewpoint? What do you believe?
I'm not sure what to believe.
A statement that possesses more wisdom than it implies. Be always aware. Or is it oblivious? I can never remember. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded Witch of the Wilds.
Witch of the Wild, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it. Oh, how she dances under the moon.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True, they came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
How do you know all this?
Do I? Perhaps I am simply an old woman with a penchant for moldy parchments. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
I love Flammet so much. It's amazing how you can always kind of tell there's something she's not telling you. And every single time you think, oh, this is where she is. And now you think, you know, suddenly what she's hiding.
The Mabari
There's always
stable
more.
for now, but not improving. Unless I get that herb I told you about, there's not much hope. Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. Give me a moment and I'll make this into an ointment.
Sweet.
He looks better already. I'm sure he'd thank you himself if he could.
I prefer thanks in the form of payment.
Isn't it worth something to save a valiant hound's life?
I suppose it has to.
Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him on you.
You think that's possible?
Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing him. Mabari are at least as smart as your average tax collector. Come back after the battle and just... or take another look.
Sweet. Is the Tranquil still guarding the chest? No. Let's steal it. Yeah. So, mostly we need this for the special weapons we get from the Phoenix Armory mod. To attack, critical backstab chance is stun. Sweet. Don't think it matter much which is on which hand, but for now we would take the Phoenix Eye Bow as well, but I want to give it to Liliana once we've recruited her. Mid-Idol, no, I want to keep the Spirit Resistance Agnes. Let's sell some of our stuff.
Hello again. Is there something you need?
We don't need this. Actually, I'll keep this. I might, yeah, because once we give the other bow to Liliana, we might want to have it still. I want to keep the crossbow for now. Let's sell the Acolyte staff. We'll keep the Darkspawn staff if we have a mage in a party. What we can check is, can we give any of this to Alistair? That's where somebody has. That's where somebody has. Okay.
Hello again. Is there some...
Might as well sell these two. I wonder... Chainmail is 425. Spin... Okay. Don't think that's better than what Alistair already has. Yeah, it's Splint Mill. It's actually better than what's in the shop. Okay, We might want to get
Hello
some...
again. Is there something you...
if he still has any. We have to get out 3 of these. Extra backpack. Let's stock up on these as well. Let's get 5. Actually get these now. And 35 flasks sounds good. Just have like a stockpile of them. Can we not stack these? Let's also get deathroot and toxin extract, so we have a bunch. Do deep mushrooms. Stamina. Okay, so stamina potions. Let's also just stock up on our fruit, why not? Sweet. Okay, we need distillation agents, and then we can make our own injury kits.
Hello again. Is there something you need?
Do you sell any? Yes, you do. Injury kits, actually can't make them yet, but we will be able to soon. Oh, okay. Just make stronger once we add destination agents. It's good to know. So we might want to improve that soon.
So you return from the wilds. Have you been successful?
We have.
Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
Maybe we should tell you about Morgan and her mother.
There was a woman at the tower, and her mother had the scrolls. They were both very... odd.
Were they wilder folk?
I don't think so. They might be apostates. Mages hiding from the Chantry.
I know you were once a Templar, Alistair, but Chantry business is not ours. We have the scrolls. Let us focus on the joining.
I am ready.
Excellent. You will need that courage to face what comes next.
Courage? How much danger are we in?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
Just quickly checking something. You're saying this ritual can kill us.
As could any darkspawn you might face in battle. You would not have been chosen, however, if I did not think you had a chance to survive.
Let's go then. I'm anxious to see this joining now.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
I always hate these options that they have for if you play a female character during Ostagar. Like they ooze of sexism.
I only know that my wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
You both shut up.
Sir Knight. Try not to wet your trousers until the ritual starts.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last, we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
Let's get on with it.
We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you.
Davith, step forward.
Maker's breath.
I am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child.
There is
Had I
no
known...
turning back.
No, you ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not
I
yet
never
complete.
understood why Jory drew a sword. Like, he should have known how it would end.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden. It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
The pain that was unbelievable.
Such is what it takes to be a Grey Warden.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some
Sweet.
time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the king.
What kind of meeting?
The king is discussing strategy for the upcoming battle. I am not sure why he has requested your presence. The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
Sweet. Let's do the meeting, and then we can do... Actually, no, isn't that immediate? No, it doesn't yet. Let's have it up. I'm mostly gonna go for dexterity, I think. Let's see. Should go for the attack option, I think. Another level up. No. Next. I have 2 ability points. I think this could be quite useful. Since I do want to try and get backstabs as often as I can.
Loghain, my decision is final. I will stand by the Grey Wardens in this assault.
You risk too much, Kalen. The Darkspawn Horde is too dangerous for you to be playing hero on the front lines.
If that's the case, perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I must repeat my protest to your fool notion that we need the Orlesians to defend ourselves.
It is not a fool notion. Our arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those who enslaved us for a century.
Then our current forces will have to suffice, won't they? Duncan, are your men ready for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
And this is the recruit I met earlier on the road? I understand congratulations are in order.
I didn't have a choice.
I suppose none of us do. But every Grey Warden is needed.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Kalen. We must attend to reality.
Fine. Speak your strategy. The Grey Wardens and I draw the Darkspawn into charging our lines, and then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from cover.
To flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done. No. It's best that you both go.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the Archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, Mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Enough. This plan will suffice. The Grey Wardens will light the beacon.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Kalen. A glorious moment for us all.
You heard the plan. You and Alistair will go to the Tower of Ishal and ensure the beacon is lit.
What? I won't be in the battle.
This is by the King's personal request, Alistair. If the beacon is not lit, Tern Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
So he needs 2 Grey Wardens standing up there holding the torch, just in case, right?
Stop whining, we have an important job.
We must do whatever it takes to destroy the Darkspawn. Exciting or no.
I get it, I get it. Just so you know, if the King ever asks me to put on a dress and dance the Remigold, I'm drawing the line. Darkspawn or no.
I think I'd like to see that.
For you, maybe. But it has to be a pretty dress.
Don't worry, it will be.
The tower is on the other side of the gorge from the King's camp, the way we came when we arrived. You'll need to cross the gorge and head through the gate and up to the tower entrance. From the top, you'll overlook the entire valley. I will be fighting beside the King with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Again, at his request. We will signal you when the time is right. Alistair will know what to look for.
What if the Archdemon appears?
We soil our drawers, that's what.
If it does, leave it to us. I want no heroics from either of you.
I know what I have to do.
And I must join the others. From here, you two are on your own. Remember, you are both Grey Wardens. I expect you to be worthy of that title.
Duncan, may the Maker watch over you.
May he watch over us all.
Sweet. Oh, he actually knows some Alistair approval. It doesn't have a lot of constitution. Let's bump that up. Let's see. Threaten might be useful to keep people from attacking. Yeah, let's go for Threaten. Okay, we're gonna save here. And we're gonna do the Tower of Ishal tomorrow. Because I want to stream again tomorrow. Yeah. I have some other work I need to do tonight, and I really badly need to eat because I didn't have time for dinner before stream. So whoops. And that's gonna be it for me today. Hopefully, I'll be like whatever's going on that is making it difficult to connect to YouTube will be fixed by tomorrow. We will have to see. For now, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and wish you all good night. Goodbye.